Cheers.
Cheers, Bob. Getting pretty good at that.
Yeah.
And we're back for another episode of Updates on Humanity.
Humanity.
Yeah, there's some things that had happened since the last time. We got a king now.
We got a
king. Was watching NFL recently, and they were saying God save the Queen at the games in London. It was different. We're in a different time. It was a passing of the guard, quite literally.
All of the guard just passed to this one man who is now the king of England. We'll say England, but it's fucking Europe.
It's on his king shit, man. Well, we'll see how that all plays out. Nothing really new to report there other than the fact that they suck. But in unsurprising news, Artemis 1 hasn't left the Earth yet. We covered that in the first episode of this.
And the second episode.
As of recording now in late October, nothing.
Still nothing.
I mean, the only update I could really give you on that before we kind of just cover what we're going to talk about is Artemis 1 put back until November.
Yeah,
I mean, it was originally scheduled for
the beginning of September?
Yeah.
No, before that it was July. Then it got postponed to September when we did our recording. Then when we did our second recording, it got postponed to October. And now here's our third recording of Updates on Humanity.
This was October, yeah. It's crazy.
We're never going to see this thing go off, man.
I mean, we could take the over-under bets right now of what episode it will finally launch. So at this point,
I'm going with 76.
That's a high.
76.
So that's over. I would say at least maybe by episode 5 or 6. I hope it's sooner. I'll say the
5 or 6.
The over-under, I would put it we'll put it at 8.5. It could go off by the next one. You never know.
I'm going with the over.
November 14th, Artemis 1 is what they're eyeing right now is the window. Okay? So as early as Friday, November 4th, if all goes well, Artemis 1 will lift off during a 69-minute launch window that opens at 12:07 a.m. So you have to stay up until 12:07 Eastern Standard Time to actually watch it. Midnight. Not tough for me. I'm a fucking night owl, but that's...
I will tell you that if there is confirmation that it's going up, I'll stay my ass up.
Oh, absolutely.
I watched the fucking dart thing go right into the missile the entire time. Even how bad the fucking show was, wanted to see that thing hit the asteroid.
Did it look cool when it hit it, though? Because the camera just go off?
Well, yeah. But that's cool.
Yeah, I guess it was mission completed.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty sweet when you see it go, hey, there's a rock, hey, there's a rock, hey, there's a black screen. Like, damn, that thing just hit that fucking thing.
I saw it and it looked like CGI could have made a better version of the video, but
for sure.
That's maybe why you know it's real?
Yeah.
I don't know.
If it looked any better than it did, it would
you knew it would have been fake.
Yeah, it would have been the moon landing all over again.
Yeah, and all we were really doing is just crashing something into a rock to move it.
To see if it would move.
Yeah, and it did.
Just want to give it a little nudge,
It did.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So for today, on this episode, we wanted to give a little bit of a timeline for people who are unaware of the Ukraine situation.
Oh, so I had a bit of a conversation with my buddy B-Dubs.
Yeah.
And he didn't even know that the Ukraine war was still going on.
Well, most people are completely oblivious to it. They're on to the next thing.
Correct. So this is to sum up for everybody that is on that wavelength, and I get it. You just want to tune it out because it is terrible shit, and it will make you a little depressed if you think about it real hard. But I think the timeline really does need to get out there, and I think some information that people aren't aware of needs to get out there.
Yeah. So we're going to have that happen here.
Yeah.
We're going to have it rip it off.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I think most people just want to ignore it and have fun, like myself. But it's real life consequences in a geopolitical stage that none of us are familiar with because it's never really happened this close before since the 60s.
Yeah,
so
the Cold War.
Yeah, the missile crisis, Cuban Missile Crisis. So this is pretty serious. And I always say, I've said it.
It's pretty serious, and with social media going berserk like it always does, I'm surprised that not more people realize how much of a threat is going on.
A nuclear war,
yeah.
It's we just kind of go about our day. Like the NFL is still crushing it.
Right.
The Bills Chiefs game, by the way, which ding ding ding, Bills won. That's a shame.
Had to throw that in there, didn't you?
Of course. Fucking great win. But the reason I bring it up is 25 million people tuned into that. It was the most watched 4 o'clock CBS game in 15 years. In week 6 or something like that, yeah. The week it was, regular season, most watched game in 15 years. You know, there's a lot of people, I realize, over the last few years did stop watching football because it got so woke. I mean, I never would. I don't give a shit. I'm going to watch that. I'm going to watch that no matter what.
You're a ride or die, huh?
Oh, absolutely. It's the best product that American sports have ever produced. Fucking sit on it, baseball fans. I mean, we didn't even cover any of that in Sportsman, which we will, I think. Maybe next time we record it, we'll be close to the World Series. Right now, it's ALCS, NLCS. What was it? Astros, Yankees tonight. And then it's, oh my God, was it Phillies, Padres? That's right.
I don't follow baseball whatsoever.
Josh Allen was at the Padres game the other day. No big deal. After he beat the Chiefs with 25 million people watching. Anyways, people are getting so distracted while I go on my tangent by other things. They don't give a shit about what's happening in the rest of the world. They never have. That's why it's there. That's why reality TV is there. That's why sports are there. That's why everything's there. I'm okay with it. Yeah. I'm fine with it. It's nice sometimes. But this is why we get into the shit that we get into at the times that you're done being, you know, addicted to your fantasy football team or whatever else.
You want to enlighten yourself.
Your day betting that you do on baseball games during the summer. I see you out there. I see you out there.
He is just as guilty as everybody else, let me tell you.
So we do the... Oh, yeah. We'll rip the Ukraine timeline.
Yeah, let's go up with the Ukraine timeline.
A little rapid fire WF updates after, and then little Tom Cruise, Mel Gibson.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
Hit us with the timeline, Beach.
So the timeline. We're going to start with Julian Assange.
Wiki fucking leaks.
WikiLeaks. And the only reason that we're going to start with him is because he had a speech of how... Now, we're talking about the Afghanistan war now with Julian Assange. Julian Assange was saying that with the Afghanistan war, it is a perpetual war for the Democrats to launder money.
Yep.
All right? So I just want to put that into perspective.
I wouldn't even say it's just Democrats. There's Republicans tied to arms.
It's everybody in political.
It's all.
Yeah, I shouldn't say
that's actually the real problem is that it's all of them are in on it.
It is all
Democrats can say they're anti-war, which is why I was a Democrat for a while, is because we were at one point the anti-war side.
Yeah.
But it's really everybody at this point.
It's everybody, yeah. Everybody is corrupt.
Yeah.
But I bring that up because that shows you the motivation of the U.S. to be in a perpetual war.
It's just too much money.
So I'm going to start that with we ended the war in Afghanistan on August 31st. September 1st, T-Rex's birthday, if anybody cares. September 1st, so the day after we ended the war in Afghanistan, Biden immediately signed the treaty with Ukraine to try to get them into NATO. Now, why that's significant is because since the creation of NATO, which is the Northern Atlantic Treaty Organization, has been moving east towards Russia since the creation.
Yeah, it's not Atlantic anymore.
No, it is not Atlantic at all. It is straight Midland Europe.
It's provocative.
So
is what it is.
It's provocative? Is that what?
Yeah, I'm not saying it in a good way either. There's two different sides of provocative, in my opinion.
And evidently there are several different tiers you can be as a NATO member. Yeah. I didn't realize this, but Iceland doesn't have any sort of army. Still a NATO member. They said, UK, US, you got that, right?
Is anybody invading Iceland anytime soon? Who the hell would want to invade Iceland?
I heard it's fucking beautiful.
Actually, you know what? Iceland is very nice. I've seen a lot of people vacation there, like in those hot springs or whatever of Iceland. It's probably sweet. But there's I don't think, really that many natural resources in Iceland. So you're not going to go after an island in the middle. I mean, you could if you wanted to, because like you said, there's no army.
Yeah.
Is NATO really going to worry about Iceland? It's a good thing to point out, though, because they might be fucking cannon fodder if shit starts popping off.
Yeah, no shit.
They might just invade Iceland for the hell of it.
Why the fuck not? There's nobody to fucking defend it.
That's true. You can't keep all your troops on the other side of the map. I learned that from Civ 6.
So in 1949, they started the NATO organization. 12 countries originally signed. The 12 countries are Belgium, Canada.
What year was it?
1949.
Okay, right around the time that UFO started becoming apparent
Yes.
to culture. Okay, just wanted to fit that in there.
So it was Belgium, Canada, Denmark, France, Iceland, Italy, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, Norway, Portugal, United Kingdom, and the United States. Those are all the founding members of NATO.
Can I just say one thing on Luxembourg?
Sure.
That name is so fucking long, and the country is so short, is so tiny. It's like a county in America.
Yeah. It doesn't even fit.
It never fits on a map. And
Never.
you just put the Lux. Lux period, which is a great bar in Rochester, by the way.
So those were the original, and now this will be on a link in the description of the video, but I am going to show JA
The map.
the map.
Let's see.
And it's a video of the map. So it shows you from 1949.
Oh,
the
I love
members,
these.
And then it just shows you how they creep towards Russia.
Okay.
So that was 1949. This is
that Turkey?
1952.
Okay, so Turkey's coming on the map. I'm pretty good at my Eastern European. There's
I'm terrible.
Germany.
That's Western Germany.
Western Germany, yep,
Yeah.
during the Cold War.
There's Spain.
Spain.
Then,
That's a given, though.
Then you're going to see Germany just unite. So
Yep, that's after the Soviet Union
Collapses.
basically collapses.
So
that's during 91 was the collapse. Yeah, this year in 1999.
99,
2004, that's where they really start popping
Yeah.
off, and all those countries west of Ukraine.
Yep. So now
All those little countries in West Ukraine, like was that Serbia, Croatia,
all those little countries.
Netherlands.
Yeah. So then in 2020, you see that
are all those little ones
mostly
there,
all
too?
of Europe is blue with saying that they're a
Yeah.
NATO country, and the only couple that are left are right next to the Russian border.
That's kind of funny. Libya was in it at first.
Yes.
Are they still in it?
They're still in it.
Wow, Libya
So-
has been holding strong. I forgot all about them.
So the 90,
That is Libya, right?
I think so. Yes.
I
This
wanted
one
to
down
make
here?
sure. Yeah,
Yeah, I believe. I'm pretty sure.
I'm gonna pull up a quick map of Africa while we're doing it, but keep going.
So it's funny that you say that 91 is significant because in 91, with the fall of the Soviet Union,
I was born.
I was born in 89 when the Berlin Wall came down.
You
buddy.
got the Berlin Wall.
All right,
We got the official end of the fucking commies.
So during the end of the communist era, we had a bunch of meetings with what the heck's his name? I think it's Gorbachev.
Yeah, the guy with the huge thing on his face.
Yes. So
Algeria. That was
bunch
it. It was
of-
not Libya though. It was Algeria. I just wanted to make that correction.
all right, good.
Big
correction.
ass fucking country too, because Libya's we're still at war there. So it kind of makes sense now because Algeria has just been chilling as a NATO country the whole time. It's a front.
So in 91, we had mostly all of the NATO members go to Gorbachev and be like, "Hey, you dissolve the Soviet Union, we won't move east of Germany. You won't have to worry about it. We will not move east of Germany." Now, there are no treaties, there are no signed documents, but there are conversations. You can look them up. I have looked them up. But there are conversations between the U.S. and the UK and Gorbachev.
This is 91, so it'd been
91.
George Bush
George H.W. Bush.
Senior.
Yep.
Yeah, George H. Dubs.
George H. Dubs. And I think the UK guy was Barker. I don't think it wasn't the Queen. I think it was a
No, it's a PM. Yeah,
yeah, it was a prime minister or a military guy.
Oh, wait, England right now is fucked. We should we'll wait until this thing plays out. But at the current moment,
the
England's
prime minister,
the shortest prime minister in the history of England, resigned today.
Yeah, 6 weeks.
6 weeks. They're going to. I hope and that's where my family line comes from. England, English Canadian. That's going to be playing out interestingly over the next few weeks to a month as we get into this potentially long winter.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. But anyways, keep going. Sorry.
Gorbachev
was talking to him.
But Gorbachev talks to both of these guys, and both of them, in layman's terms, basically say, "Hey, we're not going to move east of East Germany, and you can just do whatever you got to do."
Yep.
And since then, we have been moving east systematically, and then we cut ties with Afghanistan, saying, "Fuck it, we're done with that war," and immediately signed Ukraine into NATO.
Well, that goes to what you were saying earlier, is where the weapons have to go. They have to find some type of war to fight.
We have to find, and
It's been constant since 1949, since NATO was fucking created.
Evil bastards do. They made Trump send in freaking weapons into Ukraine, saying that he was doing political shit after he was trying to figure out what Ukraine was actually doing.
Yeah.
And, okay, so the whole concept of this, what does Putin call it? Special military operation. The whole problem with this is because of NATO. All right? Mm-hmm. So that was his words.
It's a response.
That's Putin's words.
Yeah, it's a response.
Those are Putin's words.
He's had a lot of crazy speeches.
I think I just cemented, proven that NATO has moved east and what he said was correct. I think I've proven that, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. So what else is he saying that is true that we just don't bat an eye at because it's Russia and it's Putin and he's crazy?
Yeah.
Like, how about when he was saying that they were doing biological weapons in Ukraine? Like, what? We're not going to even mention that at all to anybody?
Well, it's pretty well documented on other countries are talking about that. And that's why they don't really stand so close with the United States when they do these UN meetings. Because, NATO is just a treaty between certain countries. UN is basically everybody, besides a couple crazy ones. But it's pretty much everybody. And you look at who votes when the UN happens, and you look at how it's changed from the beginning of the war back in February to how it is now. And the countries voting back in the day to, and all they're voting for is to publicly, diss Russia. Yeah. Basically, whatever the fucking regular term is, or the actual term, but they're basically just voting to just spite them a little bit.
Yeah. And
it's for absolutely nothing. And it used to be pretty much everybody, and now India is defecting. China's always been a non-voter. A lot more countries, some surprising ones, pop up every single time. And, they're pretty big countries. Well, South Africa, there's a couple surprises in there.
Well, and you go. I'm going to look at how we treat the world and how they're going to treat us. I mean,
I'm going to do this thing very often now from here on out, and it's going to be I'm just going to say it. Look it up.
Yeah.
The one thing I'll tell you to look up is the UN votes when they say, "Do we vote to, publicly express that Russia should not be, doing this in Ukraine?" And look at the countries and how they vote. It's very interesting and how it's changed from last February to now. And a lot of people are saying this is just kind of a regional thing.
It's not a regional thing.
Now they want it to be a global thing so there could be more profit for weapons, for nukes, for missiles, anything. It just, it's depressing because it's so many people are anti-war. The whole world basically is anti-war. At least most of our country is anti-war because we've grown up and understood that this time we fought so many. It's just getting there's just going to be endless wars over and over again. There shouldn't be, but why is there? Start looking into it. Yeah. See what is more advantageous.
Follow the money
to them. Yeah, follow the cash. Look it up.
Look it up.
Follow the cash. Look it up. All right, I got to crack one more.
That's fine. But yeah. So it is.
We brought it up the timeline to basically now where what had just recently happened. There's no chance of talks.
With President Zelensky, hell no. He basically says, "Nah, fuck you. Get out of my land. Fuck yourself."
Yeah, I mean that's
you're gonna blow me up, then, bitch. He's taunting the motherfucker. Is pretty much what he's doing.
I appreciate the heroism that comes out of that. It is someone defending their country that he was nominated to. I find it interesting with Zelensky. He actually is an actor, I think, or a comedian by trade.
Okay.
It's funny because the guy who's going to be potentially should be running for Libertarian president in 2024. Is Dave Smith. The dude that goes
saying that you think he's going to run. I don't know if he's going to run.
His faction of the Libertarian Party took over this year.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, he said it on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, so and it's true. I watched those. There was a lot of people that disagreed with what happened because they're more of leftist libertarians, and then the rightist libertarians took over, which a lot of them are just basically Republicans. They're more of the pro-life group. They're more of, but they're also, very, on the libertarian standpoint, it's just limited government, actual limited government, not you bullshit Republicans who say you're for limited government and you just want to expand it more on your own side.
Yeah,
which is what they do.
Oh yeah,
the government's never going anywhere. If you keep voting Republican, Democrat, it's going to continue to grow.
Yeah, the problem is that we need somebody with a backing and has a bunch of money,
Money
a
and-
thick
and-
skin,
yeah.
and is willing to take all the hatred that's going to come towards his way during the media. And I think, honestly, the best person to do that is a comedian.
Dave Smith?
Yeah, I mean, they got to deal with the utmost disrespect being a comedian.
Yeah.
Those motherfuckers throw drinks at you. Like, that's some hate. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
I have never hated somebody where I threw my drink. I'm sorry, I've never thrown a drink at somebody.
he's got I mean, his pod, Part of the Problem, is a good one, too, for anyone to listen to. I definitely recommend it. But
He has a pod?
just...
I didn't even know he had a pod.
Oh, yeah. He's
Part of the problem?
part of the problem. He's just funny, you know. The way that people communicate these days, the most time, the way that we try to do it too as well, is through humor because you have to laugh at it. This shit is too crazy to comprehend that
Well, how
it's
the
actually
hell-
happening.
How the hell are you going to go throughout the day, knowing that anytime that goes on throughout the day, the fucking nuclear bomb could be set off? How are you going to do that?
Yeah, you'd hope they'd have some bit of like previous knowledge that would happen soon. But like that's, you know, the way to communicate with people, the way to shrug things off, the way to deal with day-to-day life is to laugh, is to fucking joke about it.
Well, yeah.
You have to joke about it because if you don't, you get too ground down about it, and then you get
yeah.
and you get angrier and more, you know, just enraged at it, and then you get more extreme. You
Or you can go the fucking other way and you get
Yeah.
just depressed as a motherfucker.
Exactly. You can completely outcast yourself from
Yeah.
society. So that's why I think it's important that we have sports,
Yeah.
that we have entertainment, and appreciate it, because I remember for those however many months, 6 months without sports, it was the most miserable fucking time. You couldn't escape
But-
from anything. You could just only look at memories
Yeah.
of what it used to be. What it used to be like. We're like, are we ever going to have that again? And thank fucking God enough people wised up while we still could.
We still need to.
And we still, there's a lot of wisening that needs
Yeah.
to happen. But
Just-
at
you
least
just gotta
now people
watch
have...
the Red Zone channel so that you don't catch any of the fucking commercials.
Yeah, dude, Chris Hansen is a legend. He posted his breakfast on Twitter the other day, and he has, it's very salty because salt retains water, and he doesn't go to the bathroom all day from like 1 to 7.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and you have to stay hydrated. I mean, you're
Yeah.
talking all day long on a camera. Eventually he comes on camera late when there's too many commercials and there's not enough 4 o'clock game
Yeah.
action to keep going. But the 1 o'clocks is electric, you know.
Yeah.
Like he
Oh,
could
yeah.
probably go to the. I bet you he could go to the bathroom at the 1 o'clocks. There's enough action for him to not even be involved for like 3 minutes.
Yeah, third quarter, everybody's just starting.
Yeah.
You have enough time.
Even the
to
be- no,
do
the be-
four,
yeah.
do 4 screens and be
Beginning of the second half, everyone's pretty much in, and he goes, "All right, we're gonna go to the double box here." And
Yeah.
then he just runs to the fucking bathroom, and it's like, "Oh, okay, he's got about 2 minutes." Okay, he's got the whole clock on. He's like, goes in there, pisses, runs back real quick. All right, let's check in live here in Miami.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't miss a beat.
doesn't.
But he posted his breakfast the other day, and it was all salt, like bacon. He had a muffin in there, he said, for a little bit of like, what did he say? Like calories or something like that. Then it was egg whites, turkey sausage thing, like instead of a turkey or sausage, it was turkey with no bun. And then he had
Bitch.
Kalamata olives.
Kalamata olive.
That was the secret. He goes, the secret for retention. And he goes, I know what you mean out there. I've seen your tweets. It's retention. It's Kalamata olives. I was like, really? Apparently, if you have a situation where you don't need to pee, or you
Don't
you
wanna
can't
pee?
you have to not piss for however many hours, just for whatever goddamn reason, it's the Kalamata olives.
All right.
I'm saying that right?
Kalamata, yeah.
Yeah, I have no clue.
I don't know. I don't fucking
I don't
eat
eat 'em.
olives. I don't eat
I like
olives.
black olives. Green olives suck. I would never eat those. But for a situation where I was like, I gotta make sure I'm not pissing, I might pound a couple.
Why don't you pound some black olives? I'm sure that's the same. fucking
It
shit.
probably is the same.
Same
So,
shit.
it's just salt.
Salt.
Just pound
Pure
salt.
Yeah.
Just nothing.
Take
but.
a tablespoon of salt. Just do that. Yeah.
There you go. Problem solved. But
yeah.
I would say, on any given Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, there's something that you can watch on TV that's, for whatever your own reason, is probably more important than the war in Ukraine. But it could potentially soon be
It
more
could come
important
back
than
and
anything
nip you in
else.
the butt if you know what I mean.
Could be soon at something else that you'd probably want to have a little bit more knowledge on. But
I just hope that this timeline gets out there before it's gone forever. Because as soon as the nukes go off,
it was I might have we even skipped ahead, but like the 2004, 2012, and they just kept adding different countries to get to the point that we're at now. And it's just like, it's always been a little bit of a tinderbox. People just haven't paid attention to it.
Yeah.
The people who have been paying attention to it have been profiting from it for a long time.
For a very long time.
And, you could say that there is companies and
Look at
military
President
companies.
Joe Biden.
It was even before. They just have been sending
Vice
stuff
President
there.
Joe Biden.
Before that, fucking Clinton era, there's always money to be had in arms dealer ship. And that's really what kind of moves the needle in any direction. But all right, what do you think we do? We do a rapid fire?
Yeah. You want to go a little bit of a lighter story?
On the lighter side of the news,
side of things,
Well,
we're in imminent death of nuclear war.
I wouldn't start with this one then, because this one's kind of weird, a little bit depressing. Not even depressing; it's just crazy to think about.
All right.
So I'll start with this one. A little scientific news.
Crazy to think about too. But
Yeah.
whatever. Let's go.
Do you want to rip this one off?
I'll rip this one off.
All right. 500,000 fucking year old artifact found.
Signs of extinct human species found in Poland cave. Holy fuck!
In Poland.
In Poland.
So they're 400,000 years old. Like almost 500,000 years old of an extinct human race, they said?
Human species.
Human species. Okay.
So it's probably not Homo sapien, but something before
It's an entirely different species. Holy shit.
Evidently, they were found in a tunnel called Wailiki. I have no idea if that's pronounced right.
Close
All of
enough.
these articles, by the way, will be in the description, so you can
Yep.
look them up and read them for yourself. It is in Malopolska, and they are between 450,000 and 550,000 years old.
Jesus.
And these are tools that this human species must have used.
Yeah, to think that we started only a couple thousand years ago is so naive. There was just so many things on this planet before us that we don't know about. We're just finding them. It just takes us this long to find shit.
Bro. Layers of material were dated to Holocene, dating back to around 11,700 years ago. When the fuck was that? The Younger Dryas. When the fuck what happened during the Younger Dryas? A fucking asteroid hit the Earth.
A big ass flood.
A big ass flood.
It was a big ass flood.
Stretching as far as 40,000 years ago. That's right. It's smack dab in the middle of it.
That is, yeah. I'm not even gonna lie. That's interesting because to me, the humankind, they always think of civilization starting around 4,000 BC or 5,000 BC, but then they find here and there, places around the world. When you dig deep enough, you'll find places that are older than that. And this is holy shit. That could be tens of thousands of years longer than we ever would have given credit for.
Yeah, because we just don't know yet.
Hundreds. You don't even know how old any of the shit that
hell?
if you dig deep enough, you could find.
What the hell is this scientist's name? Hang on a second. Let me get this scientist's name before. Malgorzata Kot said, "We were surprised that 500,000 years ago, people in this area stayed in caves because those were not the best places to camp. Maybe they were the best places to camp because the sky was on fire."
Yeah, it could just way to adapt in certain situations. You cannot even imagine. People look back at a climate chart only lasting for the last 50 fucking 60 years, 100 years. This is tens of thousands of years ago. The conditions of the planet, the positions of the fucking continents were completely different. It was
they found
the water level.
They found flint in the cave.
Yeah,
So
they knew how to make
500,000
fire.
years ago, we fucking found fire.
So they had already known fire.
They had already known fire.
Interesting to think, do you think because it was a different human species, what kind of species is it? If it's a new type of species that was around that old.
Maybe it's the whole reason why we named this podcast Leaving Earth.
Yeah.
Maybe we've already left.
We had left and we came back and we're still here and we're still going to leave.
And we're still bitching about some bullshit.
And I'm still leaving.
And I'm still getting the fuck out of here.
This one, though, I'm going to say when people kind of wonder what happens after you die, this is a wild story.
This one got me intrigued.
Okay? So there's a 5-year-old boy. If you see the picture of it, again, article.
Go on the article.
The article will be posted in the description. 5-year-old boy. There he is, looking probably like almost I was at 5 years old. Blonde-haired, blue-eyed, little white kid.
Yep.
5-year-old boy claims that he was an African-American woman killed in a fire and reincarnated.
Yeah, so I didn't actually. I read the headline because I know you wanted to bring this up, and I wanted to hear what you had to say about
Because
it.
reincarnation interests me.
How does he say that he knows that he is this black lady?
Exactly. He's 5.
Yeah,
But
but how does he know? Like, could he just? Is it something his mother fed him, and is just regurgitating, or
that could be true.
is
You
it
know,
like a
I mean,
parent
that's
thing that's just trying to get
if
headlines?
if it comes out that that's the case, that's pretty fucking shameful of that
But-
woman to do it.
But it's human beings, man. They're all fucking shameful.
It is human. I mean, it's almost like when parents want their kids to be something that they're not. Like the parents
Yeah.
that force their kids into like transgender situations, and you're
Okay.
like, holy
Bro,
fuck.
did you hear
You
about
people are-
John Oliver?
No,
Bro, he did a 30-minute segment on how it's okay to trans your kid.
it's okay to just change your kid's gender into whatever
And
you,
then
you
was
think
like-
it needs to be.
Yeah, and then was like
Yikes.
taking the advice of an 8-year-old. It was like, yeah, see, that's why kids need to trans. Like, I'm sorry, but it's an 8-year-old. You're gonna go let her drink a
I
beer?
haven't watched John Oliver in many, many years. He used to
Yeah.
be funny. He was good.
I used to like him a lot.
The John Daly era of the Daily, like the Daily.
I'm trying to hit as many points for us to get canceled as quickly as possible, by the way. I'm just hitting
you're
all
off-
the fucking points, all
We're
right?
off to a good start, Peach. We're off to a fucking good start.
All right, back to the kid.
Anyways.
How's he know he's fucking a black lady?
Anyways.
Not fucking a black lady. How
I
does
mean-
he know that he is a black lady?
He said to him, I saw God, and eventually God pushed me back down. I was a baby, and you named me Luke. One day Luke explained who Pam was. He turned to me and he said, well, I was she. I used to be, but I died and I went up to heaven.
Okay.
That was, yeah. Then it became, I actually read that backwards.
All right.
He said, I used to be a girl. I had black hair. I used to have earrings like that when I was a girl, like all the different shit that he used to say. And like to me, they say he said it from like a young age, from like before he was like 2 years old. They couldn't understand because he could barely talk.
Okay.
And then
How the fuck do you know that's what he was saying if you couldn't understand?
if he was trained to do it, because I think, I mean, I'm almost on that conspiracy with you.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the only way
Like,
how. And that, because the TV show is a paranormal investigations TV show that was investigating into it, because I mean obviously that it could all be connected to the producers of the show.
Yeah.
But it's called The Ghost Inside My Child.
I would have gone a little different with the title, but okay.
It's fucking unbelievable. So they filmed him, and then he said, he showed a full page of pictures with different black women in their 30s, and then one of them was her. It was a woman out in Chicago.
How the
And it
fuck?
pinpointed it down
How?
to a woman who died in a fire, in a
So they
hotel
just-
fire in Chicago. And it was like, wait a minute, that's Pam? They're like, yes, like that's who it is. Like, and the kid would go on and on about how he died previously. In a
Tell me
fire.
about the mole on her ass crack. All right, then I'll believe you.
That's true. And eventually, if the kid grows up and he, eventually exposes the fact because he wises up to it, we'll
Yeah.
know about it.
Yeah.
But for now, apparently this kid's
I mean,
possessed
it's a
by
good
some woman
story.
who
I mean,
died in a fire.
I would hope that we would reincarnate. But
Reincarnation is interesting to me because, most people would never remember that they had a previous life. But even before the social media era and people clout faming, people have actually thought they were, old other people from previous lives that had come back and had flashbacks, at least in their sleep or some shit like
no
that.
shit.
There was
Well,
a
that's
hockey
fucking
player.
dreaming, bro.
I'll have to find. You know what?
Fucking dreaming.
For the next episode, I'll have to hit up. I'll have to find this book because I had an old hockey book.
I gotta remember to bring fucking
Oh yeah, take what is it?
the begonia one.
Passport to Magonia. I'll plug
Magonia,
that
yeah.
every episode. Jacques Vallée, Passport to Magonia.
gotta
Huge
remember
reason
to
why I
take that.
agreed to do this pod and make it alien conspiracy based because I love aliens. Love the tinfoil hat.
We gotta get a fucking bell too. Anyway,
Anyways, yes. I will find this book. There was a hockey player back in the day. I can't remember. It was probably the 50s or 60s that dreamed he was or believed he was a matador back in Spain, and he had died being gored by a bull.
that blows.
Yeah. And would
weren't a good
have these
matador then,
recurring,
were ya?
dreams that he would be this person. I was like, I'll find that sometime. It was old weird hockey stories. That was all the shit that I read back in the day. It was hockey history, or just random history books about the Civil War. It was just ridiculous. But yeah, I would say reincarnation in me, I don't really believe in it as much because I feel like more people would remember their previous lives, and this would well, if I'm living this life right now, I'll never remember it. My next one, maybe. But I'm a believer that you only have one soul. So how do people think that they're that before? Was somehow a soul transferred from one body to another by mistake? Was there's recycled ones? Do you only have one life or soul? Do you have nothing? You know, it's like questions that people would ask. Like reincarnation doesn't really explain that.
We're all in the Matrix.
It's a straight up sim. Goddamn petri dish.
So T-Rex fucking sent me this text message today, and
Yeah.
there was a guy laying on a bed and there was a thought bubble. Let me pull up the text message so I don't fuck it up. So there's a guy laying on a bed, and it looks like Captain Kirk. I'll tell you that.
Oh, Shatner.
So
Legend.
It says, "What if they aren't stars at all, but holes poked in the top of the container so we can breathe?"
Yeah, that's a good one. I've seen that
That
vision
goes
myself.
that goes on my petri dish theory.
Yeah, there's a bubble, there's a firmament.
No, petri dish. The whole universe is in a petri dish. Because you know why? What concluded me to this fact? They just found out that the edge of the universes go up. Why the fuck do they go up? Maybe they're hitting the side of the petri dish. We'll get on that later, though.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that is interesting.
yeah. We'll get on that later.
But you were not a believer in reincarnation, or you are?
I'm a believer in a lot of things. I'm open to a lot of things.
Not in that story, by the way. Doesn't need to be connected to that potentially fraud story where some woman fucking twistedly convinced her child that he was this other person and showed him multiple, pictures or told him stories as a child. And that's how he grows up, that he actually believes he is this black woman who died in the Chicago fire.
That'd be crazy.
Whoa.
But I think the idea of reincarnation is fantastical.
Yeah.
And I would love it to be true. I just don't think it is.
Yeah, I don't...
I would absolutely adore it to be true. And I would will it into being if I could.
It's big in like the Hindu culture.
Yeah.
I
They want
know
to
it's
come back
Buddhist.
as a cow.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be cool. I don't even know. I don't even know what
You
I
got to
would come
become a
back
cow
as.
in India, though. You can't become some.
It's probably what you're worth.
Yeah, but you can't come back as bitch ass cow in America. You're just gonna fucking get chopped up into beef. At least in India, you'll be all right.
I'd probably come back as a soybean.
The soybean, you'd be fucked.
I know, because I hate soy.
That's the whole reason why.
Guy like, you know what? You were going good for a little while, but
Then the soy came into the
you're
picture.
just a dick. You're gonna come back as a soybean. You turn into soy milk, which sucks. Yeah, I don't think I believe in reincarnation either. But it'd be cool. I mean, think about what you could get turned into. Everyone would want to say, I'll be a hawk or a gator. But you would, if reincarnation was real, I think you'd come back as whatever the hell would kind of stimulate you the next time through. Like maybe this is our first run.
Yeah.
Or there was other runs before. I don't know. Maybe I was
Maybe that's how we evolved.
yeah, you never know.
Maybe we started as a fish and just miraculously we just came
I was
back.
just
as
about
different
to
other
say.
shit.
I was just about to say. Maybe I started off as a goldfish, flushed down a toilet.
And then look at you now.
And all of a
Fucking
sudden I came out me.
millions of years later.
Johnny
you're-
fucking Anchors
Johnny
saving anchors.
Fucking Anchors signing on.
Fucking
bitches.
right, man. Used to be a goldfish. I'm pacing a soybean. But to be honest with you, if I figure some shit out and correct my flaws, I might come back as a nice fat jar of marijuana.
There you go.
Burn it up, baby.
Burn it up.
Burn it. Fuck soy.
What's that last story you got?
Oh, real life Santa Claus. Yeah,
Real life Santa Claus?
So many people don't really know, but Santa Claus basically is a real person based off of
Well, Saint Nick.
Saint Nicholas.
Yeah.
So I think it has here, real life Santa Claus grave found. They apparently say it's
I
extremely
know exactly where his
important.
grave is. It's in Auburn, New York.
Is that it?
That's it. It's in Auburn, New York.
That's right where it was? That's where they said?
that's where Santa Claus lives or is buried. Swear to God. Love you, Papa. Santa Claus is buried in Auburn, New York.
Nice.
If it's not this Saint Nick, if the from whatever 1400s, it's his reincarnation. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah. It's another reincarnated one.
Buried in Auburn. Telling you right now.
This Santa Claus, 700 years after his death, the exact burial spot was unknown until now. Researchers discovered St. Nick's alleged final resting place after uncovering the remnants of ancient sanctuary in the coastal town of Demir. Where the fuck's Demir? Is it Myria?
Demir?
Yeah, Demir. I know it's somewhere in the Mediterranean Sea. Chris Kringle died on December 6th, 343. Year 343.
343?
Yeah.
All right.
That's a solid 1700, give or take. But holy shit, that's so long ago.
That is a while.
Basilica then submerged by rising Mediterranean sea levels by the Middle Ages, whereupon the church was built atop in the town, then known as Myra, between the 5th and 12th centuries to protect the holy man's grave. Unfortunately, thieves from Italy desecrated the tomb in
Fucking humans, man.
1087. The Italians were dicks in 1087.
Yo, we fucking blow as a species.
It's like, hey, paisan, where the fuck are you there? Where the fuck are you, Barry Santa Claus?
Let's go. Turn it over.
I need that workshop, motherfucker.
I need that coin, bro.
Turn it over. So they come over and they desecrate the tomb, carted off most of his remains. It all seemed lost until recent excavations unearthed the remnants of the tile and mosaic flooring from the original basilica, leading them to believe that Saint Nick had been interred there.
So they fucking go by the tile and saying, "Hey, this is where he was buried."
By, traditional things, and they say that's, there's no DNA testing to say, like, yo, these people were related to Saint Nick, but it was from the tile.
Bro. These archaeologists are fucking stretching it now.
They are high, and they are kind of reaching, and, most of the stories are from the New York Post.
I'll tell you exactly where fucking Santa Claus is buried.
Auburn, New York.
Auburn, New York. I could take you right there. I don't give a shit. That's why I'm growing my hair as a Viking Santa.
Viking Santa Claus.
Viking Santa Claus.
Thor Claus.
Thor Claus.
Thor Claus. Do you know there's another Claus out there?
There is another Claus out there.
Not to segue completely into the founding of maybe Santa Claus that isn't buried in Auburn, New York, in Demir, which, by the way, is in Turkey.
Turkey. Okay.
Yeah. A lot of shit happens over in that region. That's
Wasn't like Dracula in Turkey, too?
Transylvania.
Isn't that Turkey?
If you believe in the vampires, yeah. I do.
Isn't Transylvania in Turkey?
Yeah, I think so. Or somewhere in that, Middle
Region.
Eastern, maybe a little northern of that, into Europe-ish area. Yeah. All that, I'm telling you, there's so much history of, especially in religion, in the Middle East. It's all of it. Like, it's from one same region, and it just spreads out throughout the world in way different ways than it is now. It's like, I said it one, what was it, the Astro Anthologies episode, the Bible Belt Christians. And then you got these people that are like, this is probably like more of, Santa Claus is Catholic, but who knows?
Well, that's another thing. Like
Everyone,
why we did for
Christianity
Astro
believes in it.
That's why we did Astro Anthology, because look at fucking Dracula was what 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, and we're talking about the Bible that was like 4,000 years ago. Like maybe we got the interpretation wrong. But anyway, back to the world's evil con man. Emperor Palpatine himself.
The Klaus
Schwab.
Yeah. we try to do
founder.
as many of these. Maybe we'll even clip, this portion of it specifically for the Canadian fans who rail against the WF on our page. But yeah,
bugs.
Basically what this article that we have here posted, where was this from? Ethan Peck.
Ethan Peck. He is
from a few, yeah.
He's an author for a column.
Yeah. The Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah.
The story within. Jesus returns to Earth during the Inquisition. Upon performing miracles and being recognized by the people, Jesus is arrested by a tyrannical cardinal, the Grand Inquisitor, for interfering in the affairs of the Catholic Church.
It's Inquisitor.
Yeah, I can't pronounce anything.
Why do you have to be the paper?
Because I can't announce anything.
You're doing great.
The Inquisitor.
The Inquisitor.
It's like my rock of fucking Gibraltar. I can't say shit.
Gibraltar?
Yeah, Gibraltar.
Gibraltar.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I used to say. I can't read. I'm like that kid in fucking class of
Billy
Madison. And he's like,
can't read.
Kid can't even read. Me.
Today, Junior.
That's literally me reading.
Oh, that's fucking terrible, man. I'm sorry.
It's even harder when I write. penmanship, as brutal as it is, can't even write any type of legible penmanship. But anyways, back to our Mr. Non-Santa Claus.
Did you know that Schwab has a statue of Lenin in his office?
I did not know that. Vladimir or John?
Vladimir. Why would he have a statue of
Maybe
John
we'll
Lennon?
change the Tom Cruise Mel Gibson to Vladimir Lenin or John Lennon today.
John Lennon every time.
JL every time. Straight.
Yeah, so this article that will be in the description of the video or podcast, whatever the fuck we're doing around here, it goes on to say basically it's not wrong to call this guy Emperor Palpatine or Dr. Evil because
Dr. Evil.
He's a fucking bad dude.
He talks like a villain. He dresses like a villain.
He dresses like a villain. It fucking has.
He's got the Count Dooku look about him, and it's like every time he wears it, he doesn't wear it very often. But the German, harsh German accent or Austrian accent, whatever he has, is very evil in the way he talks.
Yeah.
Looks like a turtle too. He's got that turtle face.
It says, why else would Schwab proudly admit on stage and on camera at Harvard University that the WEF penetrated the cabinets of governments if he didn't think that that was a feat to be celebrated? So he straight up said on camera that, we infiltrated your government already. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, I mean, they are in almost every single liberal, democratically run government, or in every single one. Even if they're not in power, they're at least trying to get there. Here's an interesting one, actually, I would say, just to kind of lead into it a little, this is a recent story out of The Hindu, which is an Indian news organization. I'll make sure to throw this one to you as well. Drones can help create $100 billion GDP boost of jobs in India. In India.
That's not good.
WEF report.
That's good.
But they're saying if you implement what our strategy is here, you'll gain $100 billion in GDP. How? What are you droning?
Yeah.
What's the population? There's a lot of people in India.
There is a lot of people in India.
You know, and you see the videos of the Chinese drones flying around and catching people when they're in quarantine, being out of quarantine. I've seen those. They're crazy. You see the videos of the dogs running around. The technology that people have right now is actually to the point of we are living in Black Mirror. And
See, I never watched that show, so I don't get those references.
Dude.
Is it more like iRobot? Can we go iRobot?
It's an anthology. Every single episode's different.
I'm just saying now. Are we in like an iRobot? Is that where we're at? Like,
iRobot is nothing on Black Mirror. Black Mirror is what...
I know that, but
Yeah.
I'm saying in times, because I don't understand Black Mirror.
We're not in iRobot yet.
We're not in iRobot yet?
That's 2035, actually. I think that's when they set that.
So Black Mirror is a little bit before
I
that?
think, yeah. Black Mirror is... There is no time. They never tell you when you're in it. It's just a story every single time about what a futuristic hellscape would look like. And it's a different aspect of it. And it's a different part of like human emotion every single time, like greed, sadistic shit. People like, retribution or just random stuff, surveillance.
All right.
It's just a lot. Every episode has kind of a theme. There's a one where the army has goggles on and they're seeing people as zombies, but then they take the goggles off and the people are actually just peasants and they've just been killing peasants this entire time. It's crazy.
Holy shit.
It's a mindfuck every single episode. And we're living through a lot of what they saw. There's one episode with the dog, the dog that's hunting whoever. I can't remember that one is specific, but it's like hunting people. And it was like, whoa, that's crazy. And it came out maybe 10 years ago, 8 years ago. People didn't really have the fathom for it. But now you see
Shit's actually happening.
these things are being created. And obviously they're going to be used as war. Obviously drones are going to be used as war. It's the next step. Anytime someone invents someone new, somebody try to figure out how to put a gun on it.
Yeah, exactly.
The airplane had a gun on it before people even know how to fucking fly the things. They were literally just little single fighters out there in World War I. Jesus. Little propeller. They're flying like 300 feet in the air. It's like...
I got this thing. What
Just
is it?
flying around like,
I don't know,
oh.
but I'm thinking I'm going to put a flamethrower on it.
No cockpit, just out in the middle, just freezing their ass off, goggles fogging up, just trying to shoot someone down with like an M1 Grand. Shit. It's crazy. They had pistols up there too. You're getting those little dog fights. That's true manhood. You haven't seen manhood until you got a guy that's up there in just a fucking tin can with wooden wings on it. As soon as they came up with flight, they figured out how to put a fucking gun on
So
it.
what's up with these drones, though? So
So the drones, apparently...
what, are they just manufacturing drones, or?
So this was a report prepared by the WF Center for Fourth Industrial Revolution in India. That is the name of this foundation. Founded by the WEF. The Fourth Industrial Revolution in India. Collaboration with the Adani Group. Launched here outlined the potential for drone-based transformation of Indian agriculture. They're going to be agros. So it's going to help Indian farming.
You know what farming he wants to do, though?
Well,
He wants to do
bugs.
bugs. He wants
Eatsy
to
bugs.
remove all meat and put a byproduct of bugs.
I think and if you could get...
And you will like it.
If you could be positive about it, what it could do to create GDP, to create jobs, people would just be flying drones to water plants, spray plants. But if you wanted to get twisted and evil, like WF has seemed to be kind of throughout the entire time, they'll probably use it just to monitor farmers and just have them constantly under surveillance and have to do what they do: grow them, burn them, destroy them, poison them. Mm-hmm. They'll use the drones to be kind of the catalyst, like, yeah, you can be a drone flyer.
Authoritarian state.
Aviation is one of the most regulated sectors globally. India's bold and measured approach to spur unmanned aviation has been celebrated across a wide spectrum of stakeholders. This is direct lines from the WF. To make the most of this regulatory landscape, drones must be a part of the core agri-equipment repertoire alongside tractors, cultivators, plows, diggers, and combine harvesters to fortify our farms. Fortify our farms, said Vignesh Santhanam, project lead of aerospace and drones at the WF. They have a sector of WF that specializes in aerospace and drones.
Why?
Apparently to, quote himself, fortify our farms.
So
It's tough to shoot a drone down, believe me. People try.
So you said you're going to...
See those suicide drones in Ukraine that Russia's shooting at them? Whew. Those things, they can't figure out how to put them down.
And then the freaking news comes out and says, hey, yeah, we got an 85% hit rate. We're fucking good, bro.
They're hitting everything.
If one fucking gets through, it's massive destruction.
Yeah.
Like 85% ain't cutting it.
Yeah.
You need to be 100% or nothing, bitch. Like... One of those things, someone's family's dying with one of those things, if not more.
It's crazy. I mean, that's obviously what they would do. That's what they did with planes.
Yeah.
That's what they do with everything. Anyone who's and now it's unmanned, so it's like even what are you losing?
Yeah.
Maybe how much
now it's a computer game. Now it's a fucking video game.
You're just throwing darts.
Yeah. How fucking close are we getting to what's that fucking movie?
Is that iRobot?
No.
The Matrix?
No. Fuck, man.
Well, I would say I think there's a couple drone episodes in Black Mirror. I'm not 100% sure on that. But
Ender's Game. You remember that movie?
Ender's Game?
Yeah, where
might have to put that on the list.
Where the kids are fucking maneuvering the shit remotely, and then it comes to find out that they're fucking doing war. And they had no idea. They just thought it was a game.
Yeah. That's how...
That's what's fucking going on.
You see the recruits. I saw a picture of some of the Army recruits, and I was like, damn, this is who... And their numbers are way down. The U.S. Army numbers are way down in recruits.
You ready for a draft, bro?
No one's probably going to, willingly go to that, especially the ones that they take. But the people that are joining the Army, they look like computer nerds or tech nerds. Mm-hmm. They're just going to put a million fucking drones out there. And it's going to be like a video game. Like it probably could be like Ender's Game. Yeah. I need to see that movie though because I have not. I openly say I have not seen that movie. And
shout out to T-Rex's stepdad. We don't have a.
Is it on Disney Plus?
No, but he's the one that. It might be.
Is it a Disney movie? It's not.
I don't know.
I'll have to look into it.
But he's the one that showed me that movie.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean that is insane. I mean they're expanding into countries.
And why the hell is Bill Gates buying farmland, bro?
Yeah, they're gonna start monitoring them apparently with drones.
You said you were gonna tell people to look it up. I'm telling people to look that shit up. Bill Gates is buying all of the farmland in U.S.
He's the number one farmland owner.
Yeah.
In the United States.
Why?
You think that'd be like McDonald's or something? Yeah,
some bullshit. Give me some cows. Give me some plants. No, this motherfucker is doing what with this land? Just taking it out of farmers' hands so that they can't do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, to that point, though, they seem like they come off like they're trying to save people, but like the shit that they say is so easy to find like problems with. Like they're just not real human like. They don't seem compassionate. You know what I mean? Like it's not the stereotypical compassionate person. Philanthropy, give me a break. Fuck, they're doing it for the money.
Yeah.
They have to do something with the money. They're slush funds. Like, they look like they're giving money away.
Philanthropy just gives them more money.
Dude, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation funded all of the fucking tests against like ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, the main ones, the foundations who were approved to do that for governments. Look it up. It was all founded by them.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, well, it doesn't work. Okay.
And how about Pfizer?
And now they're funded by Moderna and all that. So, like, obviously they need the profit there.
Did you hear about Alex Jones?
Give more money away to make money? Oh, that guy's fucked.
Bro, $1 billion to that family?
You ain't gonna be able to pay that.
And then right before that, Pfizer comes out and says we lied to the American people, saying, oh, the vaccine doesn't really help you at all.
Well, it doesn't matter because they're gonna recommend it for kids to probably go to school, which is not true. They're not gonna technically CDC recommend it, but they've today added the COVID-19 to the vaccine schedule.
Get the fuck out of here.
Of immunizations for adults and children. Yeah. But the states can decide what to do with that. If a state wants to say, we honor this recommendation from CDC and will now require the COVID-19 vaccine to go from K through 12 in public schools, it's up to them. I think it's going to be a shitstorm.
That's where the fucking microchips come in, man.
I'm telling you, Bill, but that's where it becomes a shitstorm. That's where it becomes people saying straight up, I will take my kids out of school.
And that's where all of this trans shit is coming from. Because they want to shoot people up with fucking microchips and these vaccines. But before that, they have to make sure that you know that it's a child's right to make their own fucking decisions at the age of fucking 4. Yeah. So that when they go into school, they can say, yeah, I want a shot. Or talk to my parents. How about that? Let's just teach all of our kids right now to say, talk to my parents. Until you're the age of 17.
Yeah, I mean, if it's responsible parents, it just depends on who you go back to. A lot of it is how you're raised and how people now, especially on both sides, just raise their kids so completely differently. And it's going to be crazy to watch what public schools look like in like 10 years. If it's even possible. But this is a key to like kind of weeding it out, like weeding out the problem people to them.
Well, the problem is
they're not going to get their kids vaccinated. The super right conservative people are not going to get their kids vaccinated, and of course, some people have already gotten their kids vaccinated. So it's like,
but also
they'll still be in school.
So the also counterpoint to that is that also the Republicans might not want to send their kids to that school because of what the fuck they're teaching them.
Yeah,
so I think that's where the break's going to happen.
They've already done that. Though.
Yeah,
I mean,
but it hasn't been severed yet. Yeah. It's going to be severed between the parents and these fucking schools because they're trying to teach them how to suck dick in the 3rd grade.
I was going to say tinfoil hat at the beginning of that one, but it was a pretty good rant. That's clear as day to me. Cheers to
all right.
Should we wrap it up with a little Tom Cruise Mel?
Tom Cruise Mel Gibson. Oh, sorry. Big John Malkovich update.
Oh, we have to get into that real quick. So there you go.
It's not really a big update, but he went to go see a museum.
He did.
That
was what he's done recently.
Yeah. He enjoyed it. He enjoyed it. He loved the Greek architecture or some bullshit.
Do you know what museum it was?
I will in 2 seconds. Acropolis.
Oh, that's probably Greece.
Acropolis Museum, yeah.
Yeah.
Ahead of his performance in Athens, where he is in the show The Music Critic. Okay. I didn't know this motherfucker did Broadway.
Of course he does. He's Johnny Melks, man. He does everything.
Dude, how cool would it be to just be this guy and to walk into a museum and immediately get a private tour by the general director?
Yeah.
That's what happened. This motherfucker walked into this fucking museum. The general director, Nicholas Strampolidis, and accompanied by theater producer Georgios Lickardopoulos.
Love it. Lickardopoulos?
Lickardopoulos.
That definitely means drunk in Greek.
It's right there.
Lickardopoulos.
Right there.
Wow.
Lickardopoulos.
And fucking fantastic right there. Johnny Malkovich looks good too for his age.
Hell yeah, but he just walks in and these fucking 2 people are like, yeah, come with me. Let's give you a guided tour.
I mean, did he perform the play at the Acropolis? That'd be sick if he performed it like
that was at the
3,000-year-old
Heroids
theater.
Atticus.
Okay.
And then on Saturday, October. Wow, this is a little while ago. October 8th.
Yeah. You know what, though?
Not much happening with Johnny Malkovich.
I mean, this is pretty much slow news, John Malkovich.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I guess, it's good to see that he's getting out again.
He doesn't know if he ever learned anything before.
He's a legend. Did he have his memory wiped? Are we dealing with a full capacity John Malkovich these days?
Fuck yeah.
Love the guy. So we rip a little TC?
Yeah, let's go.
TCMG? Well, let's stay on the topic.
All right.
Who would make, or for those of you who just joined us here for Tom Cruise, Mel Gibson, favorite game?
I love this game.
My favorite part of it. We're going to wrap up some stories that we had covered and see who you would choose in this situation. By the way, if you have any suggestions, and I'd hope that you would because you made it this far.
It's been a while.
You listened all the way to the end. Feel free to shoot it to us.
LeavingEarthPodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah. And submit to our Patreon.
Patreon. Go to patreon.com/LeavingEarth.
Yep.
Hit us up on Twitter, Leaving Earth Pod.
At Leaving Earth Pod.
I am working on setting up a YouTube channel, so hopefully we
I think merch too. Maybe by the holiday season.
We have T-Rex working on some new graphics,
Nice.
and we got to get Bear a fucking duty so she's involved because
Bear's got a lot going on right now.
yeah, fuck that.
And they got one or two
It's
more
not
episodes left before they take the plunge.
Yeah, and then we have a lot more episodes to produce and shit. So let's go.
A lot more time. And especially you're going to redo the studio, which, by the way, I need a favor from you after we get done here today.
Okay.
Anyways, who would make a better museum curator? Tom Cruise or Mel Gibson?
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I think you'd get really into it.
I think he would get into it, and I feel like Mel Gibson wouldn't want everybody to see his museum. You know what I'm saying?
He'd have his own museum.
He'd have his own museum, and he'd have the only key to the doors. And
Yeah.
he'd be like, "No, you can't come in."
It'd be a museum of him.
Yeah.
His own, like, fucking
His loincloth from
self-portrait.
Braveheart and shit.
Yeah. It would just be a weird-ass relic of his own just props that he had kept in, like, a fucking jar for the small ones, or just this massive warehouse of Mel. And he only wants himself. And it'd probably be super
Got
religious.
his
and he'd be
pancreas
like,
in a glass jar over
Yeah.
in the corner, you know?
This is my gallbladder. Got a second one, put it in.
Didn't take.
I think Tom... I would take Tom Cruise as well.
I think he would get, really into it.
Reason why I think it'd be amazing is because it would be, like, must-see shit. And he wouldn't have so much of his own stuff. He would get really into, like, other art. But if you didn't agree with his point of view on a certain piece,
shit.
he would have you tossed out of that fucking museum
So fast.
faster than his fucking jet. Like, faster than Maverick fucking zipping around. Like, just... He would just lose it if you were just not in line with the message of his
Faster
museum.
than he can get rid of the
But it'd be it'd be a very elitist museum. I'd like to go through the horror story of what Mel Gibson's life would be through his museum. But if you had a ticket to the opening of Tom Cruise Museum, it would just be a fucking frenzy.
Oh, yeah.
So
And
I would say
imagine all the
he'd make a better
crazies that would come out. I mean, he's a
one.
Scientologist.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that.
That's what I'm saying. The thing
The
is,
Scientology Museum. You had to pay with your life to go in.
you had to get read by those meters that they had. You had to hold on to those two wands.
Probably like $5,000 to go inside that museum.
Yeah, no shit.
Fucking Mel would just be like, donations available at the end. You probably see this in a museum too. Here's our second one here.
All right.
Who would make a better caveman? Tom Cruise or Mel Gibson?
Come on, bro. Mel Gibson.
That's an easy one
That's
too.
an
So
easy
1-1. I'd say it's 1-1 so far.
All right.
I think, to me, he is a caveman.
The fact that Tom
big
Cruise
brow.
hasn't aged in 30 fucking years, that dude is a prissy boy. He needs his fucking blow dryer.
Or a vampire.
Or he's a vampire.
Yeah,
If
but
he's a vampire, then you got to go with him, right?
He's aged slightly, but not at the same age of most human years. So he probably does adrenochrome. Or whatever the fuck he does.
Adrenochrome. Damn, bro, we are trying to get canceled.
It's not real. That's way on the spectrum. I just thought I'd slide one in there.
Fucking,
real
that's
quick.
like Pizzagate, huh?
Yeah, it's bad. I do not subscribe to that. I don't.
No?
It's just too much.
Adrenochrome or
It'd be,
Pizzagate?
that kind of show would make a good movie. But like, I think to back to the caveman, like what,
Yeah.
like Mel Gibson just would, again, we've gone over a couple other ones. He's
Oh,
just
yeah.
so survivalist. He's so reliable if the lights
He's got,
are out.
he's got hairy feet.
Yeah,
And that's all you need
he's
in the wild,
from
right? That's all you need.
cavemen. Like he's
Yeah.
from the line of many, many, many cavemen.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, he's got whatever it is. What is it?
You know?
The fucking Neanderthal. There's people that have the Neanderthal gene.
Oh, yeah.
He's got it.
Look at his brow.
He is a caveman. So there you go.
But yeah,
one.
that's all you need, right? His hair on your feet, and then you're good in the wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 1-1. I think unanimously
Yeah.
leading into question 3.
What do we got?
This is a good tough one.
This is a tough one.
Who would you rather reincarnate into?
Oh,
Tom
fuck,
Cruise
bro.
or Mel Gibson?
Bro,
Oof.
that's a difficult one.
I can go first because I came up with the questions.
All
this
right,
week.
go ahead.
It's a tough one.
That's a tough question.
I gotta take Tom.
You're gonna take Tom?
Yeah, I just feel like even though he's such a douche, he's uncancelable and he's loaded, and you can't beat his style for just being whoever the hell he wants to be and just saying whatever the hell he wants. We know Mel probably does too,
Yeah.
a little bit tamer. That's more along the lines of just like the fact that Tom Cruise has just lived everything you possibly could live into and has more, I guess,
So,
support
I
of the
have
Scientology.
I have a follow-up question.
Yeah.
So is this reincarnating into them as they are now?
You just
Or
become them, yeah.
as they are now?
Yeah. Or just like from birth. Like you could live the life of one other guy.
So
You
I could
reincarnate
change
into
how
it.
they came out.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So
or how you
if
went
I
about
get
business.
reincarnated as
I'm
Mel
looking at you,
Gibson
Denise
as
Richards.
baby.
If you could go back in time real quick, I'd treat you right. Was it Denise Richards?
I don't think.
Or no.
that was Charlie.
Katie
Sheen.
Holmes. Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen was Denise Richards.
Yeah.
Katie Holmes. I would have treated Katie
trying
Holmes
to
right.
get
If I was Tom Cruise. That's so fucked up what you did to her, Tom. Looking at you, Tom. Not as
Yeah.
bad as what Tom Brady did to the witch.
What did he do?
The Lost episode. Remember?
Yeah.
Tom Brady's wife was a witch.
Oh yeah.
Not to get too far off topic, but look that up.
I think
Look it up. She's a witch, and that's why he sucks now because her powers are gone, and he sucks. And he looks sicker and weaker. That Tom. But yeah, back to the question. What do you
I'm
think?
going to take this on the basis of the movies that I like, which is a terrible basis to take this on. But
That's
what
really
I'm
all you
going
can
off
get. You don't know them personally.
Yeah,
we
so-
don't know them. I mean, maybe one day one of them could slide upon one of these, comparisons, and maybe want to talk to us, which would be great.
of. That would be cool.
It'd probably be Mel.
I'm gonna go with Mel.
Yeah, Mel. I thought that too.
I think he's gonna be the more exciting. I think.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, granted, Tom Cruise does some exciting shit jumping out of planes, but I mean, I don't know. I just feel like you never know what's going to happen with Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
I feel like Tom Cruise is on a regiment and he knows exactly every second of every day where the fuck he's going to be.
He is very
what he has to
regimented.
do, what he has to eat, what he has to do, everything.
Takes care of himself. Looks good.
Which is fucking-
he never aged.
That's fucking phenomenal. But you get into gritty Mel Gibson, that dude's got some stories, you know?
Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely.
I want to know those stories.
I mean, through the 80s and 90s, he was a ledge, and so was Tom Cruise. I mean, I want to know those stories as well. He was just more of red carpet, a little bit better. I would say he's a little bit better looking than Mel, but to be honest, he's still like 5'7", 5'8", which is what I am. So I think it'd be an easy reincarnation.
Yeah.
It'd be easier for me to adjust.
But,
it'd be
okay.
easier for you to adjust into Mel. You're a little bigger.
Yeah, but I still think, I mean, even if Mel is, let's say, uglier than Tom, because he is uglier than Tom,
Yeah.
he's still pulling poon, man.
Of course he is.
I mean, come on.
Absolutely. I mean, he's a legend in his own craft. So I guess that's 1-1. So it's tied again. So 3-3.
Yeah.
So that was split, but still tied. Going into the fourth question.
Hit me.
Who would play a better Santa Claus? Tom Cruise, Mel Gibson.
Oh,
Mel Gibson wasn't Santa Claus, right? He wasn't in any other Santa Claus movie. I couldn't think of one off the top of my head when I thought of that.
I don't think he's in
I
it.
know Tom Cruise wasn't Santa Claus in anything. Not to my knowledge.
Not to my knowledge.
But I
Mel
do.
Gibson is Santa Claus?
So this is listen to this. I think I'll have to look this up after. I'm saying look it up for myself and look it up for you. I think that Mel Gibson almost got the role that Tim Allen got in The Santa Claus, but he turned it down.
Good
And then
for him.
Yeah, and then it went to Tim Allen. He's really the only one I could think of as the Santa Claus in those movies.
Well, yeah, because that's what it is.
So there, I would think of like if Mel would have played that role.
So we're talking about the Santa Claus, like who
Yeah.
would play that role?
Who or not even that role, just who would be a better Santa Claus in a movie, in any kind of movie you
In
want.
any kind of movie?
Any kind of movie you want. But I would
Are
immediately
we
think
talking
of
like
that.
a Die Hard Santa, a Die Hard
Could
Christmas
be.
movie,
Dude,
or
did I show you that one that's coming out?
oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Bloody Night or something like that
Fucking something.
instead of Silent Night. Yeah,
Fuck,
it's got
I
the
gotta
guy
look it up.
that's in. It's the cop. It's Hooper from Stranger Things. David something. He plays like a fucking. He comes home or he goes to this house on Christmas and has to stop them from like the cartel or something is attacking this house. So he goes full fucking ape shit. It's rated R Santa Claus. I think it
What
was
is the name of this?
Silent Night or something like that. Yeah.
Fucking Google is failing me right now. New.
That's because you got to use DuckDuckGo.
I was using Duck.
DuckDuckGo is the greatest search engine, and it pretends to tell you that you're anonymous.
Violent Night.
Violent Night.
Violent Night. Yeah, it's the cop from Stranger Things. Yeah.
Yeah. Hoop, right? Hooper.
And John Leguizamo.
Yeah, I think he plays the bad guy.
That's
it's like
awesome.
like someone's like invading some kid's house, and he has to defend the house on
Oh,
Christmas
so
night.
it's fucking Home Alone.
It's Home Alone, but with Santa Claus is a fucking
And they can say
badass.
fuck.
Yeah, and he's a badass.
All right.
And he fucks shit up every single time. But anyways, I would still take, in my opinion, I would take Mel Gibson. It would be a heartwarming tale. And I would take it because
Starts
there's
as
no
a drunk,
limitations.
right? Starts as a drunk.
No, I wouldn't. I would
No?
think it would be family friendly. It would be wholesome.
Wholesome.
It would be Christian wholesome, and it would crush.
Christian wholesome.
It would crush at the box office because there's so many people that are waiting for that kind of movie to come out just to fucking have some kind of movie. By the way, they're making they're making a sequel to the Christmas Story.
I
Christmas
just
Story.
fucking looked that up. I
Yeah.
just saw that.
Yeah, Ralphie's going to be in it though, so that's good. I don't have high hopes for it, obviously, because it's impossible
Did
to
you watch
recreate that.
Hocus Pocus too?
No,
Did
I
you
never
like
watched one.
You did, what?
I mean, I've
That's
seen
black.
it, but like, I'm not gonna watch. To
Bro,
me,
that's a cult classic.
there's a lot of Halloween movies on right now because
Yes.
it's October.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll throw that on. I mean, I'll think about it. But I
And
mean, A Christmas
I-
Story is one of the classics.
I just said it because if you did see it, then good for you. But it's really there's no need.
No need to.
Not really.
Okay,
I thought
pass.
it was cute, but it was
It's
more
PG?
Yeah, it's more dumbed down, I guess, than the
Yeah.
original was.
I mean, that's the thing is the new Christmas Story movie coming out is PG as well. I mean, that's gonna be
How the hell?
it's gonna be way more toned down than the
So
original
is it a
because the
Christmas-
original was made in 1983.
Yeah.
Those PG movies. I think Airplane was like a PG movie or like a PG-13 movie. Like,
If you did not see that father hitting that fucking mother, that happened all the time.
yeah,
On and off set.
just I mean. To me, it was like that was an opportunity where you could have just had the adults who actually know the movie and said they wanted to make a children's movie. It's going to be PG. It's going to be probably
So
very
it's Ralphie's
cheesy.
kids?
I think so.
That's
Ralphie's Santa,
bullshit.
maybe. I don't know.
I want to know what the fuck Ralphie's doing now that he's
Well,
I got
think
shot
about
out
it.
and
Okay,
shit,
so
you know?
in the story, and this is what always this I love when stories like this happen because like the movie was made in 1983. But it's I think it's setting in like the 40s or the 30s. So you can fast forward 40 years, which is
Yeah.
basically about how far ahead it's been since the last movie. So it's 40 years from then, so they're in the 80s. So
Okay.
it'll be an 80s movie. It'll be another one that feeds off of the Stranger Things hype because the 80s shit is selling now because that everyone loves that show. It's based in the 80s.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's all cyclical.
Yeah. The style's coming back. Everyone's wearing 90s fucking faded fat jeans now again.
Yeah.
It's like crazy.
The muscle tees.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyways, you would have who? I would have Mel Gibson in that one.
I think I would have Mel as well.
Yeah.
I just think it would be a more fun time. Like I said, I think he'll be more regimented. Tom will be more regimented.
Yeah. I think that Tom it would be a
And I
weird
feel like
movie.
he
Just,
would-
it's not Christmassy.
And he would be really weird with the elves.
He would.
I feel like he would be like Hitler with the elves.
Yeah. He would be, guys, I told you, the Slinkies been made a certain way. Tom as Santa. Everyone out. No laughs.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So we agreed on Mel Gibson. So Mel Gibson is technically up
Yep.
3-2 on full wins. Right? Mm-hmm. Or 2-1. He's up 2-1. Final question. Who would make a better movie about being the bugs that Klaus Schwab wants you to eat?
Tom Cruise all day.
Yeah.
He's already part Scientologist. He's all in with that WEF shit, I'm sure.
Thought of this as like Bug's Life or like the movie Ants.
And from way up here, you all look like little ants.
Yeah. but they're on a farm.
And they're drones?
Being grown for us to eat. And they're all day they see the drones flying over and they're like, oh.
Oh, so now we're growing out of the ground? Is that what you're saying?
And yeah, and like one of them discovers like the plot, you know?
Yeah.
We're not real bugs. We're food. It's like half Bug's Life, half Chicken Run.
Oh, shit. We gotta get out of here.
Remember Chicken Run?
I love Chicken Run.
Chicken Run was an unbelievable
Chickens can't fly.
with the claymation.
Oh, I love Wallace and Gromit and shit. That shit is awesome.
I think, to me, like, it'd be awesome. It would be like, I could go either way on this one. Mm-hmm. I could do a realistic Bug's Life or Ants version. I think either one would kind of have to be a cartoon.
Yeah.
And the Ants, Bug's Life, realistic.
I think the claymation's the way to go,
Yeah.
though.
Then I would, so with the claymation, I would do Mel Gibson. I think
Yeah.
he would do, and I think he was literally in Chicken Run, by the way. He was the rooster. I'm actually pretty sure
Get
he was
the
the
fuck out
he
of
was
here.
the
Nobody
the
wants
guy
that.
who said he could fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost positive.
He might be, bro, now that
So
think about
that's
his
why I
voice.
think claymation to me would be yeah, he was.
Get the fuck out of here.
So to me he'd have to be it'd be the claymation version of Z-Bugs, and he'd be like, we gotta get out of here, like, you know, this is gonna happen, we're getting eaten by the people. Instead of chickens, it's the bugs. Z-Bugs.
Get the fuck out of here, this
Yeah.
guy.
The more you know. Mel Gibson's so talented. He's done
Yeah,
everything
I'm going with
from
Tom
fucking
Cruise, though.
Yeah, Tom Cruise would have a way more, like, it'd almost be a mix between the Tom Cruise movies that you watch and the Bug's Life or Ants, where it's like very realistic, but it also has a serious plot.
Yeah.
You know, like Titan AE.
I love that movie.
That's a good one too.
It's a great movie.
It's a serious. No, they don't make them anymore. Like
No.
all cartoons now, they're not really for adults or teens. They're just
Dumb bullshit.
And I think it'd be
And I keep going to these fucking things thinking that they're going to be amazing like my childhood.
Yeah.
And every single time I'm disappointed.
so here's what I think. Robot Chicken Run would be the Mel Gibson. You can go either way with that. You can go family friendly with the Chicken Run side, or you can go Robot Chicken claymation with Mel Gibson as Z-Bugs. He might even be into it. I've been reaching out to him. He's not answering. His people have not returned my calls.
His people aren't reaching out to your people.
Yeah, I don't call Tom because that's impossible. So just figured Mel might be chilling.
You
not
might have
really have
to
much
send
else
some
to do.
radio
Yeah.
waves out to the fucking sky to get Tom
He'd be
to come
Chicken
back.
Run, but I think, you know, Tom Cruise would be more of like the serious type.
Yeah.
You know, maybe a little bit of comedy, but not much.
Not
you
much,
know.
but a serious plot.
Serious overtone of what's happening.
Yeah.
With symbols that come
Yeah.
through from what we're actually doing. He's crazy.
He's crazy.
So there we go. That
you
was
go.
Tom Cruise, Mel Gibson. Hit us up.
Yeah.
Again, appreciate you listening all the way to the end. I guess that's all we got here for
Until
tonight.
next time.
Take it easy.
Peace.